Hello, everyone. It's Madeline with Embrace the Madness, and you're here for another episode of Podcast Deliciousness. I'm trying to get creative. I hope that I haven't said the same thing more than once, but there's always like a thing, and that's just me being particular. We'll say particular. So, yeah, we're just here talking about life, talking about being humans, existential things, real world things, serious things, current event things, all the things that are important to our human lives and necessary to talk about and integrate and figure out how to be better humans and better community members, just better all around. So, if you've been following along, then you know that the Patreon comes out on Wednesday. I'm actually recording this Thursday, the 27th, because I'm going to go camping with my friend Dwayne for his birthday, and I will be away until Monday or Tuesday. So I'm trying to get everything done and figured out and automated so that I can go out and get a little bit of R&R before the big launch. And so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I have decided to take a big step and expand my podcast. So you'll see that I have, I think this is episode 36 episodes where I share on important topics that I think, and I've kind of just been on this whole self-care journey for the last few years, and I'm just reflecting back in my head. But anyways, yeah, so the Patreon is kind of like a membership thing, and it's like a thing that I grew my podcast into, I guess, just expand it rather than just have a regular feed. I feel like there might be people who want more than just like a 30-minute, hour-long podcast a week. And so this is like the perfect thing for everybody that wants that. And so I'm still trying to navigate exactly what it will be, but definitely really cool stuff on the tiers. You pay per month. It's like a community for artists to create content for their community and supporters. And it's kind of this symbiotic relationship. So, yeah, if you feel like you want to be a part of that, just keep updated on social media. My Instagram's at Embrace the Madness Podcast. And yeah, so it's launching on Wednesday. So I've been kind of just like, and I mean, it's a good thing, but it's also like, ooh, I just need to take a step back. But, anyways, in figuring out what my schedule was going to be for episodes, I was just like, hey, the launch, just make it easy, just do a life update. And I mean, I think it's important to talk about stuff, but I also have been sharing my journey along this podcast too, and kind of using that as a relatable experience. And I feel like it's been a minute since I have kind of shared. I feel like the last time maybe I did one of these was like early in the quarantine, and I just remember like back in March, and I was like, oh my God, like I've only planned out until my birthday. I don't know what the heck I'm going to talk about. And like at that point, it was like, yeah, well, nobody really knows what's happening with this pandemic. So it's like, it's okay that you have no idea what direction you're going to go. And so honestly, it's like in a weird way worked out up until this point. And I'm like giving myself a virtual pat on the back. Very, very quick to stay current and stay informed and try to share that with you guys because, I mean, whether or not we want to tap out of this human experience, like the realistic thing is we can't right now. And so I think engaging with everything with our full attention is what we have to do. I mean, to me, that is what I'm realizing is part of the human experience. And that's just truly engaging with the moment that you're in and not being anywhere else. And that's what I found to lead me to what I, for the first time in my life, call success. There's been so many ups and downs since the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm sure each and every one of you can say, like, "Fuck yeah, there's been so many." And and it sucks that, like, we have to look at our year as, like, a fucking reality show, but I feel like this is just the universe being like, "Yeah, it gets really weird. Existentialism's weird. Our existence is weird. Like, let's get weirder." So, I'm trying to keep a smile on my face, even though, like, basically nothing that's happening these days warrants a smile. And I think that's been part of my saving grace too, is just embracing the duality of life, at least our human life, and not forgetting to share in moments of joy and love, because I think it's important to engage with the suffering and the sadness, but at the same time, we will lose ourselves and we will essentially waste away, I guess metaphorically, if we keep our focus on sadness and suffering. And this is not an excuse to dip out of it either. So I think I think in situations where we don't know where to help, it's important to listen and important to stay informed. So, yeah. So I've been trying to do that, but definitely trying to always look at things on the bright side. And I'm very, very careful not to, bypass the negative stuff. Really, honestly, this year has been like probably the most engaged I've been with my negative emotions. And I think that's really hard. I am really quick to kind of intellectualize things. And when I say that, I mean rationalize or talk myself out of feeling it, or allowing myself to feel it for like 5 seconds and then, oh yeah, I'm better now. And I've even noticed that when I cry recently, it's like I'll cry for like less than a minute. And like I feel like it feels better, but sometimes you just need to like sit down and cry for hours. Okay, so yeah, I haven't been employed since then, and so it's just been a whole interesting journey cuz I was unemployed last year for 2 months, and that's cuz I was waiting on my friend's wine bar to open. And that was kind of like a planned thing. So this year's been like completely like off the wall, like whatever. But I feel like I've been navigating it okay. And the crazy thing is like me and my friend Jordan were talking about it. It was almost as if this was like a big wake up call. And when I say wake up call, I mean like the universe was essentially like, Madeline, are you happy with what you're doing? Because you can't really lie to me. And like, I mean, of course, like, I mean, I've worked in the hospitality industry for so long that, yeah, I love taking care of people and creating beautiful experiences for people, but also like alcohol and it's a lot. It's like I feel like the hardest spiritual work happens in the restaurant industry. So if you are a fellow fighter, then fuck yeah. And I have to give all my props to the people working in the pandemic, because I couldn't. And I can only imagine what you're going through engaging with these people and smaller paychecks, and just sending my gratitude and love and appreciation to you and honestly everybody, because I think everybody is doing the best damn thing that they can. And that might look different each day, but nobody's ever experienced this before. And so I think it's really important that we give ourselves grace, definitely where it's due. So, um, yeah, I think maybe up until now, like I've just been kind of grinding. And my boyfriend had always talked about, oh, you should do a Patreon, you should do a Patreon. He follows a lot of people that have them, and I never really took it seriously. But then I was like, um, okay, so my unemployment's running out soon, and I don't want to go back to being a bartender. So here we are. I'm launching this Patreon, and I truly believe that there's a space out there for me to do what I want and make a living out of it. And so I am very determined to make this a reality for me and make this work. And I am just taking right now, I'm like having a little, I love when I have epiphanies during my podcast because I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I was talking to my therapist. Yeah, another update is I've been seeing a therapist for the last couple of months, and it's probably been one of the most life-changing things that I've ever done. And I always get like defensive because my mom and sister are like, you should really go to therapy. It will be really good for you. And I'm like, well, I know how to figure out my problems. So, but it's really nice just having a space where you feel heard and listen, and it's like completely just about you and your stuff. And also, like, I feel like it's different when you're sharing your issues and struggles with someone who's objectively listening rather than like a friend. And even if your friends love you unconditionally, I still feel like there's just a level of accountability that is unmatched. So if you're thinking about going to therapy, you should totally do it. And I think that if you ask, like, if they have a sliding scale, if you're either unemployed or struggling to make ends meet, I feel like there's tons of resources for you out there. And I think prioritizing your mental health, which I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast, you do. It's just like, it's a big thing. And I'm so grateful that there's like a movement happening now where we do care about our emotions and we do care about our feelings and we do care about our boundaries and we do care about ourselves. And I think it's beautiful. And I just want to help be a part of this movement and share what I know to help people and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place, but that's okay. I think I'm making sense. Jordan was like, "Yeah, you usually make sense," but anyways, uh so yeah, oh, going back to what I was saying about the epiphany. Well, when I was talking to my therapist, like, we were talking about how I'm very quick to dismiss my accomplishments and successes. And like, that's something that I've definitely been dealing with because, and it sounds yucky, and I was gonna say attention seeking, but like, I know in my heart that it's not, so I'm just sharing my feelings. So, well, there's another freaking airplane. It's like transportation hub city over here. You need to get transported. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah. So not being able to celebrate my successes. Well, I just had an epiphany like, yeah, I have done a whole lot over the past few months and really the whole entire year, and just like looking at my growth from when I started the podcast and where I am now. And what's cool is, and I'm glad that I did it, but like I started documenting when I started DJing in my podcast, which is like, I guess, probably, if not the teens, the single digit episodes. But I'm happy to announce that I have an hour spot on Monday nights on a local radio station DJing. So that's really cool. Um, I think it's really neat that I've been doing it for almost a year now, and I'm just finding success, and I'm finally writing music that's not bad, and at least like from my perspective. And I just remember being like in the fucking like shit of it, and just like, I mean, knowing it in the back of my mind I could never back out, but still just like, dude, like I remember talking to my friend Odd, I was just like, dude, like I can't, like the anxiety's killing me, like the lack of validation is killing me, the frustration is killing me, and it was just like, ugh. But the way, like, I just kept looking at it as like a spiritual path, and I just kept moving forward, whatever that meant, even if that meant like small baby steps. And that doesn't mean that I did something cool every day, but like, seriously, that metaphor about the running the water faucet until the muddy water runs through, like, I'm so glad that I heard that. And hopefully that inspires you if you're trying to do like a creative endeavor. It's just like, it's okay to fail and it's okay to make mistakes because, dude, like, the light at the end of the tunnel is so big and so bright and so beautiful, and I'm just, like, still in shock that I've created this reality for myself that I don't even know if I ever dreamed about it because I didn't even know it was possible, but, like, they say you wanna aim for waking up and being so excited that you get to live this life, and I think just this whole journey of turning inward and learning to love myself has really allowed that to happen, and I wake up and I mean, some days I wake up and I'm just like, "Ugh." But I mean, more often than not, I'm just like having these moments. I'm like, is this real life? Like, is it David or Daniel after dentist? David. That video of the kid and he just went to the dentist and he's like still got some like laughing gas or Novocaine or whatever he's got in his system. But he's like, is this real life? Because he's like in such a dream state. He's like, what? And that's literally how I feel. Like when my friend JB, and I'm excited because I'm gonna interview him. I just have to figure out when. Um, he called and he was like, "Hey, I've been listening to your mixes. Do you have any interest?" And like I think at the time I was just like, yeah, yeah, totally." But like I'm going to be a part of this really cool, pioneer of embracing culture and art in Memphis and just being from here and always loving my city even though like there's so much pain and suffering and I'm gonna say yuck in quotation marks because I think that's just what people say, but it just really hit me how I'm gonna be a part of something in my city, and that makes me really happy and excited and grateful. And so, thank you, JB, for that. And just still also like in complete disbelief. I never thought EDM would be on the radio or that I would be the one that gets to like bring it. And so, I'm just like really excited and I'm just yeah, forever in a dream state. And like I think that's a garbage truck. Like I said, if you need transportation, I'm sure hopefully you guys aren't like pissed every time the train goes. Like I feel like if I mean I re-listen to everything, so like if it was annoying, I feel like I would take it out. But I mean in my head it just goes by so fast, but at the same time like I live here and I've been living here for several years, so it could affect me less just because my brain doesn't respond to it as like a novel thing, but please let me know if it's bothering you and I will be very conscious of that. So yeah, the radio thing's happening and the Patreon's happening. I follow all these people and I think everybody it's kind of like what's that next step after the podcast? Well, you want to grow it. And I've always wondered like, well, what do I have to offer people? And so I think that's just taking me to kind of think outside of the box and look at what skills I do have and figure out how I can best use them. Um, and that'll be actually this the first Patreon exclusive podcast episode will be about finding your why. And so I think that's really really important, and I think that's a big shift that allowed me to, like, fast track to my path, and I think we'll get into it, but I think we all have a meaning in this world and a purpose, and whether God gives you that purpose or you give you that purpose, it's not really, like, matters. Dang, they're just, like, flying today. It reminds me of like, I think on Wednesday they have a lot of flights coming in at night, and so really probably just during the whole week. You can see like there will be like 5 or more planes coming in at a time, and you can just see them all come, and they kind of look like a flock of birds, flock of seagulls. Oh, so let's see. I'm just all over the place, but I think that's why you guys love me. And so I'm just going to embrace it. And off the cuff, we're doing this damn thing. So, yeah, just really like with my life update, I just wanted to share that there's been some heavy ass shit that's happening. I think in all of our lives. I think all of our experiences right now are a lot of stuff that's been hiding coming up to the surface. And I think I shared it in a previous episode, but just having a lot of, my root issues coming up and a lot about like self doubt and worthiness and self esteem and really all those coming to the surface. And I think this Patreon has been a huge example of that too. And just like, I mean, of course, when you do something big, your doubt's like, hey, 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 wait just a minute. And I've just had to be like, dude, like, what? You keep saying the same thing to me over and over, even though it's not true. And you're getting annoying. And so I've kind of, I guess, established that probably more compassionate and loving, but it's getting to the point where it's like, quit repeating yourself. So, anyways, yeah, so I think just this whole entire year so far has been insane. And a lot of the podcasts I listen to talk about how this is kind of that great awakening that people have been talking about and like spiritual guides have been talking about. And so it's really interesting to think about that. And I guess this is really happening. And whether it's really happening or not, it's where I'm at. So I have to figure out how to navigate it. But yeah, I've just been really, really mindful and observing myself while I experience these really challenging things. And I think it's really turning out cool because instead of my usual tuck it away in a pocket, forget about it, I'm kind of addressing things head on. And it sucks sometimes, and it's really hard, and setting your boundaries is really hard, and having difficult conversations are really hard, but I'm finding myself like being like karmically rewarded somehow. And I think that's just because I'm making the choice to honor myself and be completely authentic. And I'm just, yeah, it's hard sometimes. But it gets better and it gets easier. And I feel stronger and I feel way emotionally stronger and confident than when I started my podcast. And I'm sure like that, this whole journey has given me space to develop myself in that way. But it's just, it's a lot happens in a year. And I think I am really quick to be like, oh, a year is no time, or a year is so little. And, but like, really, a lot happens in a year. And we've seen a lot can change in less than a year, too. So I guess really mostly what I'm talking about is like keep grinding and keep figuring out what inspires you and motivates you and drives you crazy and what makes you want to wake up in the day and like what you want to do in this world, because you can do it. And I think you you got to chase your dreams. Like I keep saying on the podcast, like we're all going to die one day and we're never going to get a shot at life again. And so literally the clock's ticking, and I don't say that to like freak you out or light a fire under your ass, but I mean if it does, then that's not a problem with me. Because and I mean like really that's our own prerogative too, is like we can choose what we want to do with life. And if we choose to live a simple life and not do anything, or chase the stars, that's okay too. And I support that. I do think that I've just always been interested in evolution and the process of growing closer to the light, and just really inspiring to me. And I know that we're all going at different rates. So really just like figure out what you love and what you want to do, and don't be afraid of what that is, and don't be afraid to fight for what you want and fight for what you believe in, because it's possible. And I think didn't I like had like a little inkling like, oh, maybe I could do it, but like now I'm getting to the point where when I say something and I say I want to do something, I've been producing results, and I'm beginning to trust myself and like, yeah, I can do whatever I want and I can like dream big and do really big things. And I think day by day, the music thing is getting better and I'm excited to share my message of love and peace and acceptance and individuality and embracing all that. And yeah, so I've been like way more than blessed. And I hope that you can find the blessings in your life too, because I know it's really hard to find them right now. And when everything around us is going to shit and we've got people in office that are not representing us the way that, we were taught democracy does. And when police officers are murdering black people, like, how the fuck do you find a blessing? So I just like felt like I was just going back into my podcast the other day about how to like stay grounded in the chaos, but just do this for yourself and just look and see what blessings you do have in your life, because at least for me they're abundant, and I know that the universe will bless you infinitely. And whatever that means for you, if you're the universe or if Jesus is your universe, or if anything, just have faith that you're strong and that you're going to make it and you're strong enough to overcome anything that comes in your way, and just stay grounded and stay present and just deal with things as they come. And it's really beautiful. I was just looking at my note, my little note thing, but like, and if you're confused, like embrace that too, because it's like when I'm not like loving myself, I'm also like, what's going on? So like just completely embrace the whole full range of human emotions, because it's a big old spectrum, and like some days you're going to feel great and some days you're going to feel not, and you're going to feel like poop, and you're going to wonder why you need to ever go on. And I think that's when you need to somehow find the strength, and one, if you need to ask for help, do that, because people are around to help you. And I think I struggle sometimes with asking for help, but I'm getting better. But yeah, just like remembering our true spiritual nature, and that we are so much more than this human life, and we're just so much more. Like we are literally infinity as a human body. Like imagine if a Barbie was infinity. That's you. Except if you need to be Ken or Teresa or Christy or any of the other ones, you can. Or if you don't like Barbie, there's other dolls, there's other things that you can be. But whatever you are, you're seriously fucking infinity. And like, please remember that, and please give yourself some grace, and please give yourself a big ass pat on the back, because we're all navigating this pandemic, and holy shit, it's just getting weirder and weirder. Pray for everybody that is experiencing the hurricanes. I haven't been paying too much attention, but I saw that it's a category 4. So just sending my grace and love and blessings to everybody down there, and hoping that everybody's staying safe. Yeah, so I feel like that's a good enough update. It's like 30 minutes now, and I'm in my head about all the other stuff that I have to do. So, like I said, well, maybe that was a different episode, but either way, I'm super grateful for you listening, and I'm super grateful for your support, and I'm super grateful that you're alive. And I want you to go out there and do big and beautiful things, because you deserve it. So this is Madeline. Patreon's launching on Wednesday. If you haven't already checked social media, check out the Instagram or the Facebook. The URL is patreon.com, patreon.com/embrace the madness. The title of the podcast, Embrace the Madness. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out. I totally want to help you. If you want to know more, if you are confused, if you just want to tell me that you love me or that you have been doing a good job, and I want to hear from you guys. So look out for Wednesday and have a great rest of your week. This is Madeline with Embrace the Madness. Bye. Thanks for tuning in this week on Embrace the Madness. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Follow me on Instagram at Embrace the Madness Podcast for updates and more.